just like
Yeah,
nothing.
people are. Oh my god!
Yeah, I was. Did you have to work today, Ken? Or were
No, they
schools closed?
shut down the entire district for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I was watching some of that weather today, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope that Ken didn't have to drive, because it's like it'd be bad enough to have to drive that, but then to have to drive a school bus in that with all that ice on the road and everything, and like
How much did you guys get?
I don't even know.
From what I saw on the Weather Channel,
It said anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of ice. All that's all I know.
Yeah, because that's what they were saying. They were saying that starting at 11 o'clock or so last night, they had freezing rain, which then during the night changed to sleet and then eventually snow. But of course, it all froze on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's just this layer of ice. It's like we used to get it all the time in Minnesota. Same thing.
You sound like you got a cold.
Yeah, I do.
I do not have a cold, but I have, courtesy of our wildly fluctuating weather, I always get congestion, and it's the kind of thing that an antihistamine won't help. You have to have a decongestant for it, and the problem is if I take decongestants, I get really jittery. So
you either get jittery or you just about fall asleep on yourself.
Yeah, so I got. All right. Well, hey, viewers, thank you guys for joining us. We are just talking about things. We're getting started a couple of minutes late here. My name is DM Caliban. You're listening to Sirenscape, and we are here for session 80 of the Sword Coast Chronicles. Our players are thawing and coming in out of the weather. We will get started when we get everybody here. In the meantime, we're just going to talk about weather for a few minutes.
Can I ask a few questions?
Sure.
Or make a few comments. So I sent a DM to the party. So if you guys could answer or take a look at that and let me know what you guys think. And so one of those questions was, I understand there were medallions given out last week, and so my question was, why did Belle didn't get? I noticed Belle didn't get a medallion, but everyone else was given a medallion, or everyone with metal. Everyone with metal.
Everyone with metal armor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So what's the why? I guess I don't understand from out of
because the fire giants thought that it would be more helpful to people with metal armor.
Okay, so that's just what the fire giants thought.
Yes.
Okay, and would they have thought of IG as well, or no?
No, probably because you don't always take IG everywhere.
Yeah.
And so yeah, okay. But of course, when you get hit, he would then, and if you take half damage, then that's further split, and he only takes half of the half that you take.
Yeah, unless he's standing next to me and also gets hit, right? So, which, if it's a breath weapon, he probably would get hit.
Well, remember those lightning breath is usually a 5 foot wide line, so it's usually one square.
Oh, okay.
So unless you guys are kind of at an angle to the dragon and he's kind of at an angle to you and just in the right, line where that breath goes through his space as well as your space, then one or the other of you will probably get hit, but not both.
Does that apply to like lightning strikes from above? Like if you're in a lightning storm, does lightning usually only affect probably a radius, right? Or no?
In D&D, it's usually a 5 foot wide bolt. The only time you have stuff like that is when you get chain lightning, where it hits one person and then redirects from that one person to somebody else, then to somebody else, then to somebody else.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So Ivy said she's going to be a couple minutes late. Has anybody heard from Paul or Michael? Let's see. We'll double check. Because Michael was in, I mean, obviously Michael's in Tennessee, and I think that same winter storm, or part of that same winter storm that went through Dallas, a different arm of it went through Tennessee. So I don't know, he may be in a similar boat to Ken in terms of not having power at his place. So other than the power, are you doing okay, Ken? Oh, he muted us. Better than ghosting us, but he muted us. So how is your trip, James?
It was great. Other than the frantic nature of, so we did COVID tests one day earlier than we were supposed to, so then we had to frantically find a way to do COVID test again, which we were very fortunate to do, because getting COVID tests scheduled is almost impossible. But yeah, all four of us, we got on the ship, me and my wife and I and two of our children, and other than the first day at Coco Cay, which was a little cold, but the water was still, once you got in the water, it was fine. Ship was about 50% capacity. Never heard a single word about coronavirus, saw anyone sick, saw anyone quarantined. As far as I was aware, everyone was good and having a fun time. So it was great.
Good to hear.
Well, I think because they're taking all those precautions of, okay, if you don't test negative, you ain't getting on the boat, then it's unlikely that you would get somebody who would have it. I mean, of course, I don't know what the incubation period on this thing is, whether, like you get exposed today and, you can't detect it for 3 days or 4 days or whatever.
I think the biggest issue is just the crew members, because the crew members are seeing, people coming and going, and so they're on the ship longer. And so I know Royal Caribbean has a couple quarantine ships that they unload and do like the truffle shuffle with their crew. But it was great. I felt safer on a Royal Caribbean ship than I do walking through a Walmart. So they had hand sanitizer everywhere and washing stations. So it was great.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean, I like their ships because they're kind of a step above some of the other cruise lines.
Yeah.
It's like, Carnival cruise lines. It's kind of like spring break at sea.
The value cruise, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all the kids who don't have any money and who just also don't care about themselves or anybody else that are on those ships. And Royal Caribbean is a little bit better. I haven't ever been on a Disney ship. Just because
I've heard those are fantastic. But they're very expensive.
I hear those are fantastic, and yes, that's one reason that I haven't been on one is because they're very expensive. But hey, viewers, we're just waiting to find out if Paul and Michael are going to join us. I haven't heard back from either of them. So I guess what we will do is I'll go ahead and lower the music and take us to a take us to the our sound effects, basically, and then we'll talk a little bit about what happened the last time, and we will go ahead and we will see what is going on. All right. So last week on the Sword Coast Chronicles, our heroes got a few important things done. They finished up the armor, and they finished up the scepter that they were making for Felgalos, finished up the armor they were making for Falasher, and they got close enough to the lair of Imrith on the edge of the desert that they could use those great big spyglasses up on the top of the castle to peer down there and get an idea of what they might face. And they found that there are a number of statues on the arena over there, and that there are some there was also a little camp out there, and they noticed some of the environmental effects of a blue dragon's lair, notably the fact that there are thunderstorms in the area, and that it seems that Imrith is not by herself, because they saw two dragons of the same size emerge from underground, burrowing up through the sandy soil, and one of them flew around and seemed to be playing in the storm clouds. Another one went over and talked to whomever or whatever is at those tents, and then went back, or both the dragons went back burrowed back underground into the lair. So they know that that's a situation, and they were just about ready, as soon as everybody is ready, to go ahead and begin their assault. The dragons are ready, the giants are ready. It's just a matter of if the party has everything lined up. So we'll start with the folks that we have with us, those who are in the Roll20 and on the Discord. What are you? Are you all ready for this assault to start?
Oh.
What was that, Heather?
I said, oh, hell no.
I might need some help. Hopefully you can access my D&D Beyond sheet.
Oh, okay, because you're not at a computer.
No,
Nope.
He has no power.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I figured he didn't have any power at his place. I didn't know whether he was elsewhere that he had a computer with him. So, all right.
I have access to a laptop here, but I don't know if I can get it to work.
Well, don't worry about it. We can get it. Let's see.
So Mulek is going to come out of the library. He's been frantically studying, preparing, kind of game playing in his mind, knowing that he was going to be facing very powerful dragons and some other creatures. And he comes out just as the party has been looking through the spy glasses and hearing what they are seeing. And so how are we going to approach the ground? Well, what's our game plan to to get down? Are we going to teleport? Are we just going to ride the dragons? What have you guys been discussing?
Tack has been spending time cleaning up his armor, making sure that his runes are all in order, and he's been getting some stuff done and taken care of beforehand, making sure he's gone through his entire inventory to, bolster up his weapons, all that. And he kind of looks at you as he's sharpening his battle axe and kind of gives a bit of a shrug, like, I don't know. I've never fought a dragon before. I've never seen a dragon before until now. So, honestly, I was never much into hunting as a youngster, so I'm more of I go face to face. And I know that's not what's going to work here.
So I think I heard you say you saw a couple blue dragons flying around, but they've gone back down that hole. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then I think there were some wispy things flying around. I think someone saw. Is that correct?
Don't remember.
Yes.
Oh,
there was.
I would say they're like those water spouts, but in air.
And then I think someone said there was a camp. Was anything else seen at the camp? Or was it just the dragons visited the camp? Did anyone see anything at the camp?
There's something down there. There's someone down there. There's others, like guards.
Yeah,
reflected, right?
Yeah, they're like 50 miles away, so they're too far away, even with those spy glasses, to see something as small as a person. But they could see like the glint of metal, like something glinting off of perhaps an armor or weapon or something like that. It would be how they would interpret that. So it would make them think there was probably people there, but they couldn't tell for sure.
So Mulek will walk over to Count Tholen. Count, I don't know if you've done this before or what the standard procedure is if you were to make an assault on the ground from the sky, but how would you go about approaching this? Would you get closer? Would you, go down now 50 miles away? How close would you generally get before assaulting something like this?
Well, our thought would be to use the cover of night and to get the castle as close to the lair as we could, and then in the hour before dawn, we would begin our assault.
And do you have a way to get to the ground, or I guess as a cloud giant, you have an easy way of doing that? Is there any other?
I can fly and I can carry my weight, or I can carry my carrying capacity. So several humanoids could fly with me, and I believe that for the purposes of getting their feet on the ground, our draconic allies would ferry down the humanoids. As for
other giants,
my fellow giants, well, we were hoping that you might have something like a feather fall.
I do. How many giants? 1, 2, 3, 4.
There will be a total of five of us. I do not need it because I can fly.
Yes.
So a total of 4 giants.
Yep. I could. I have a way to get down. I could take care of the 5 giants if they would allow. I could lower them down.
Okay.
as long as we're not too far up in the air, it should last until they get to the ground.
Well, I have instructed one of the cooks on how to use the navigation orb. And once we disembark, the cook is to take the castle back up to a sufficient height until he begins to feel lightheaded. And then he's to stop. So, you can't explain how many hundreds or thousands of feet to them. You just have to say, go until you feel lightheaded.
But from where we are going to attack, how low are we going to come down?
Oh, we will probably be between 100 and 500 feet off the ground.
Okay, so that should work.
And out of game, a feather fall spell will work. No matter how high you start, it's just a matter that you have to engage it so that you have to be within 600 feet of the ground, because it lasts for a minute and you fall at 60 feet per round.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was trying to get at, because if we were more than 600 feet, then it could be an issue.
Well, I mean, you just free fall until you need to.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And then employ it. So
That's true.
I gave you an idea on the chat, the group discussion.
Oh, okay. But if we don't know where she is.
Well, isn't she in the cave?
Yeah, but probably not right under the entrance.
Well, no, when we lure her out.
I don't think we can lure her out. I think we will be engaged by other dragons and her allies before we have a chance to lure her out.
From kind of snicker from reading her little page that she has and says, "Well, little do you know, this one doesn't like insults. You see, when I piece this and this piece together, there is no dad."
What?
So I had heard you guys talking about the sending stones and all that, but how are you going to insult her?
By simply yelling inside the cave.
Salazar's songs go way far, far beyond what you think it'll be heard. You've heard us play before. We get a whole circus all lined up to hear us play. If we hold a concert, then there's, tickets sold out everywhere.
Oh.
Well, I think at most we would end up attracting her offspring to our castle, which I don't know if we want to bring the dragons here, or if we want to go there, or if they will even attempt to try to attack us at the castle. But I think we want to sneak a prize and try to take them out little by little if we can, although that's going to be difficult. But as for Imrith, I don't think she will come out. We might be able to try and use her offspring as leverage or as bait, but even then, her vanity might keep her in her cave. I understand blue dragons are very intelligent, but I don't know. I'm not a master in these things.
Neither am I. Like I said, I'm usually the type that just point me in the direction of what I need to bash or influence, and that's about it.
Are any of you wanting a steed to ride into battle on?
I don't think there's a steed that can hold me very well.
A Bellinger. It'll be okay.
Falliger, would you like another phantom steed to ride into battle?
Bellinger.
Yes, he says.
He says, sure.
Let's see.
Well, if we do right on things, then how are we going to make sure that it's equal for everybody? I don't think that we have like 5 for the giants, and then I don't know how many for like our dragons, and then on top of us. It's way too many steeds. Or their pets.
Eh?
Once Tack kind of like shoots up, Belle kind of just shoot him a look and says, "What? Do you want to be my pet?"
What? Where did we get this? I'm confused. Sorry, I'm confused.
Tack, I could provide you a steed if you want.
Can it carry me?
I don't know why it couldn't. It's a magical steed.
Oh.
Heather, as a half-orc in armor, you're no heavier than a human in full
don't
armor.
Forget that I've also grown recently. In
Which, yeah, you're a tall human. So
You're not large. You're not considered large, right?
No.
In fact, the spell doesn't even.
It was inches. It was inches as opposed to feet, right? That Tack grew.
Yeah, but when you're up almost double digit in inches.
Yeah.
So
like according to the spell, it doesn't even. There's no limitation.
Yeah.
It just says you are a creature.
It's a magical steed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to be convinced twice. I wasn't sure. At first, when you said steed, I'm thinking, oh, like horsey.
No, I can make it look.
Gigantic horse things.
I could make it look like whatever you want, as long as it looks similar to a horse.
A dog.
It could be a dog.
Fair.
Could be a wolf.
Because it's the capital of a cat's better than a dog. The dog's the pet. Come on, we got to do it.
Yeah, horse-like. It just needs to be horse-like, so it could look like whatever, as long as it's horse-like.
Okay. All right.
So that's a vote. That's a vote of 2. So Mulek will start thinking about that, and I guess figure out what we're going to do tonight, considering.
Yeah. Yeah. So viewers, we have one player that's in the game that doesn't have power, and we have 2 players that have not joined the game, and it's very possible with all the winter storms that they also don't have power because we haven't heard back from our queries to them. So we're thinking we're not going to actually start this assault tonight.
Yeah.
So then the question to you guys in the game is, would you prefer to do any more planning now, or would you like to just call it here and reconvene next time everybody's available?
I've got another meeting I can go to if we call it now, so I would I could leave tonight and just reconvene next week if that's.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we won't be reconvening next week. That was going to be my announcement or my reminder at the end of the session. Next Thursday is the schedule for the Pints with Pareja. It's a meet and greet with the coach of the soccer team. So I will be there. I will be at the stadium next Thursday night. So we won't be having a game. So it'll be 2 weeks. Tonight is the 3rd. So we will be back not on the 10th, but on the 17th then.
Okay.
And we will pick up from here, just basically with getting the last details of this assault, and then going ahead and starting the fight. Because yes, I agree that if Ken doesn't have full access to his character sheet, that does, limit and handicap him. And then obviously we have 2 people that aren't here, and we're down them. You guys do have the allies, but I purposefully wanted to make this a tough fight, given the fact that you have these allies. So I anticipate it to be a challenge with everybody present. So, viewers, our apologies for having a short session tonight, but Mother Nature, you can't do anything about the winter storms that plague the countryside. So,
and what's funny is that it started just south of us. I mean, just south of Nebraska. So Nebraska never got any of it.
Yeah.
But a good chunk of Iowa got nailed because it was going from southwest to northeast. So. Right.
Okay. Well, thank you, players. I'll just put a message in the Discord that I'm not available next week. We'll be back on the 17th. And viewers, once again, apologies for the short session, but we are bowing to the whims of Mother Nature. So,
yeah,
it's a bummer, but it happens.
Yeah, Ken, you be safe. Hope your power comes back soon, and stay warm. And we hope we will see you on Sunday.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, for viewers, we are planning to have our regular Saturday night game on Saturday. There will be a new debut video on YouTube tomorrow, another episode of Lore Friday from Out of the Abyss. And then we will be having our Sunday game on Sunday. And Monday night, we are going to be doing an unexpected monster, a monster that was requested by a YouTube subscriber. So we are going to be taking a look at the Garyon.
Oh.
The Garyon. And there's actually going to be, just like we had for the Black Pudding, there is going to be a Garyon song. So, all right, everybody, take care. If you're affected by these storms, stay warm, stay dry, be good, and